How have beauty standards evolved throughout history? Did Cleopatra really bathe in milk? Was it really necessary for women in the Renaissance era to use leeches on their faces? And why were shorter haircuts the norm during the Roaring Twenties? Find out the answers to all of this and more in today's video about the evolution of beauty standards. Hello and welcome back to my channel, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Wendy and I make weekly videos about painting, beauty and my life as a mom and full-time artist. I'm so excited about today's video because it combines two things I really love, which are beauty and history. Specifically about how beauty standards have changed and evolved over time, from ancient civilizations to modern day society. Obviously, there are way too many eras and periods throughout history, so instead of going through every single one of them, I'm just going to highlight the main ones. And by the way, if you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a new video. So let's jump back in time to one of the first beauty trends that was ever recorded, which was during the first Egyptian dynasty in 3000 BC. Upper class men and women used kohl, which is a black powder made from galena minerals, to outline the shape of their eyes. They also used black, blue and green eyeshadows on their eyelids, which were made from mined lead and copper ores like malachite and azurite. And then for the cheeks and lips, they used red ochre blend from iron oxide, which symbolized life and high social status. So there's a few reasons why the upper class Egyptians used eye makeup. The first and biggest one was to show off their wealth, status and affluent position in society. Basically, they were trying to distinguish themselves from the people of the lower class. They also used makeup to protect their eyes from infections and the harsh glare of the sun. So in a way, it was like a natural sunscreen back in the day. Using kohl makeup was also believed to ward off evil spirits and bring blessings from the gods, which was associated with the Eye of Horus. Now, aside from makeup, ancient Egyptians also wore wigs made from human hair, wool or plant fibers and created a skincare routine using honey, olive oil, sesame oil and milk. Cleopatra used to take bath in sour milk and enhance her complexion with powdered excrement from crocodiles. Some of these beauty ideals were adopted into the routines of ancient Greeks and Romans, though they put their own unique spin on them. So for example, ancient Greeks celebrated natural beauty and natural skincare ingredients like olive oil. They also focused on getting that smooth, soft and unblemished complexion, which was actually a reflection of youth and mythological figures in art. Ancient Romans, on the other hand, continued the Egyptian tradition of using kohl for their eye makeup and rouge for the cheeks and lips. Their beauty standards also emphasize elegance and aristocracy, especially with the use of chalk and white lead to lighten their skin tone. Which, by the way, this was not good for their health because white lead led to, no pun intended, skin damage, hair loss and lead poisoning. Now, during this time, the Roman Empire also had a lot of trade networks that evolved around goods, ideas and cultural practices. So things like makeup, perfumes, fabrics and beauty accessories came from all kinds of regions like Greece, Egypt and the Middle East, which helped to add diversity to the Roman beauty practices. So one of the main beauty trends about the ancient Romans was pale skin, and that continued onward to the Middle Ages, aka medieval Europe. If you had fair skin during this time, it meant you were spending your leisure time inside rather than outside, which was associated with hard labor that resulted in tanned skin. And similar to ancient Greece, there was also a focus on natural ingredients for makeup and skincare, like herbal extract and plant dyes. But above all, the Middle Ages was all about modesty, especially for women. Instead of elaborate garments, women dressed very conservatively and covered most of their bodies. This is because of strong religious beliefs that centered around purity and modesty by the Catholic Church. The pale complexion trend continued throughout the Renaissance era, which was also known for extravagant fashion and jewels, scented oils and symmetrical facial features. The reason for this was because their beauty standards were influenced by classical art and literature, which focused on proportion, symmetry and balance. So things like a fair skin, a high forehead, arched eyebrows and an oval-shaped face were all considered beautiful. Even their hair was styled a certain way to frame the face perfectly and show symmetry. For men, this meant short hair and trimmed beards and mustaches. For women, this ranged from loose, flowing curls to elegant updos with jewels. Of course, no look was complete without leeches either. Before big events, women would use leeches to extract blood from their faces. They placed them all over their ears and cheeks, which eventually led to some pretty nasty skin lesions. Like the Middle Ages, the Victorian era focused on natural beauty, modesty and simplicity. They used herbal infusions, vinegar rinses and lemon juice for their skin, diluted pure ammonia for their hair, very light rouge makeup for their cheeks and lips, and only floral scents applied to their garments. Hardly anyone used eyeliner or wore heavy makeup, and the reason for this had to do with Queen Victoria. She believed that makeup was only meant for prostitutes and stage actresses, and that women had to protect a more refined image in public without wearing any makeup. But aside from her, these beauty standards were also a reflection of Romanticism, which focused on nature and authenticity. So let's jump to the Roaring Twenties, which were all about liberation, freedom and revolution, especially for women. That's why most of them cut their hair short and donned bold makeup looks like dark, smoky eyes with red lips. They were also all about rebellious fashion and glamorous accessories, which were influenced by the Art Deco movement. This type of visual style was known for geometric shapes, rich colors, and luxurious materials. Now, this came to a screeching halt during World War II, when women had to simplify their beauty routines because of the lack of resources and cosmetic products. They wore minimal makeup, simple hairstyles, and more functional everyday clothing instead of luxurious garments. But after the war, there was a swift return to glamour, elegance, and sophistication. Hollywood stars took over the beauty world and normalized vibrant red lipstick, winged eyeliner, and voluminous hairstyles. There was also a huge focus on skincare with innovations like moisturizers, sunscreen, exfoliators and anti-aging products becoming more and more popular. This led to beauty salons and spas popping up all over the world, which promoted a more holistic approach to beauty and skincare. And to this day, these beauty standards continue to be part of our daily lives and shape how we view ourselves and other people. So, as I mentioned before, art had a huge influence on beauty throughout the course of history. In ancient civilizations, for example, artisans and sculptors created statues of gods and goddesses with calm expressions, balanced proportions, and harmonious lines. During the Renaissance era, artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael combined classic beauty standards with new techniques on perspective and proportion. These artists all used their knowledge of human anatomy to create works of art, which happened to highlight the principles of the golden ratio. The golden ratio, or phi, is represented by 1.618 and is found in all matter that is considered beautiful to the human eye. So this is seen in Da Vinci's Mona Lisa, Raphael's The School of Athens, and Michelangelo's The Creations of Adam. If you want to learn more about the golden ratio, I have a YouTube video all about it called The Secret Behind Beautiful Faces and Achieving Beauty, so be sure to check that out after this one. So beauty ideals, of course, continue to evolve during the Baroque and Rococo periods, where artists focused on voluptuous figures and sensual beauty, as well as ornate designs and rich colors. And if you look at the Baroque churches and palaces in these paintings, you will also be able to see evidence of the golden ratio. These paintings were also a bit more contrarian in nature because of the emphasis on asymmetry to create beautiful movements, expressions, and drama. But this wasn't the case for neoclassical artists because they loved clear lines, symmetry, and balanced compositions, which also used principles of the golden ratio. This was seen in portraits of figures with ideal proportions and symmetrical features, aka classical ideals of beauty and perfection. Now, when Romanticism came along, these artists moved away from painting symmetrical features and focused on emotional expression. They loved to paint women in nature, wearing either simple flowing outfits or elaborate historical garments. Their beauty could be seen in moments of joy, melancholy, or contemplation about hopes and desires, which in a way redefined where beauty comes from. Now finally, let's briefly touch on some of the art movements during World War I and World War II, which included styles like Cubism, Surrealism, Abstract Expressionism, and propaganda art. So beauty was obviously depicted in all kinds of ways, but it started to evolve through dynamic compositions, dreamlike imagery, and raw emotions. Beauty was painted in abstract and distorted ways, which usually contained hidden psychological meanings depending on the artist. Although with propaganda art, beauty was shown through strength, resilience, and patriotism to promote national unity and support for war efforts. This aspect of social justice is also portrayed in modern-day art, which includes diversity, inclusivity, and explorations of identity. A far cry from how beauty used to be back in the day. The golden ratio continues to be used even today with photography, graphic design, paintings, sculptures, and everything that falls into the category of art. We've come a long way, haven't we not? No more toxic powdery leeches on our faces and washing our hair with diluted pure ammonia. We now have beauty standards that celebrate body positivity, self-love, and a whole lot of skincare. And skincare especially has become so popular thanks to Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, where creators and influencers share skincare tips, product reviews, and their personalized routines. There's a video for pretty much any kind of beauty trend these days. You need a hair tutorial? There's a YouTube short or a TikTok video for that. How about beginner or advanced makeup tips? Same thing, there's so many videos and articles for that too. And that's the nice thing about the user-generated content style content. You don't need to go to beauty school or consult with a professional for general hair, makeup, and skincare advice. You can just watch pretty much anything or any kind of social media platform because that's the epitome of beauty trends these days. Now, in terms of actual trends as of now, the most popular ones are natural makeup looks, sustainable beauty, dewy skin, bold eyebrows, gender-neutral beauty brands and products, do-it-yourself beauty treatments, wellness and skincare supplements, anti-aging skincare products, makeup techniques for mature skin. But like any beauty trend throughout the course of history, these are subject to change and will probably change in 10 or 20 years from now. Hopefully these changes will be for the better, and I'm so excited to see the next chapter of history's beauty standards. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this deep dive into the historical timeline of beauty as much as I did. And if you found this video interesting, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below telling me what your favorite beauty fact was. And be sure to say hi to me on Instagram. Find me at Wendy Buiter and check out my courses on wendybuiter.academy for tips on painting, marketing, and running your own business. I will see you in the next video. Cheers!